Newsflash everyone, real estate wholesaling is dead, and quite frankly, it's been dying for a very long time. And in this video, I'm gonna show you 3 reasons exactly why. All right guys, so in this video, I'm gonna be sharing 3 big reasons why wholesaling has been dying and is now basically completely dead. And quite frankly, why if you're the majority or a big portion of your income is coming from wholesaling and or you're looking to get into wholesaling and it's been a big focus for you, why you should really start to get, quite frankly, without being direct here, a little bit nervous. And honestly, if the majority of your income is coming from wholesaling, pretty worried, okay? So I'm gonna be sharing that in this video, and if you stay to the end, I'm actually gonna share a way where you can make money in real estate very similar to wholesaling, but that's not dead, that's actually thriving, and right now is exploding into its own massive industry. But before we get into that, guys, again, make sure you guys are subscribed, hit the notification bell, because once per month, I give away a free couple mini courses on this channel, and if you're notified, you'll hopefully be able to see that link first, because the first couple people that see that link will actually be able to get the free mini course. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell. And with that being said, let's jump into reason number 1. So reason number 1 is, as we speak, there are literally laws being created right now all across the country that are preventing people from wholesaling. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but I believe it was in New Jersey. They just passed a law that will be going into effect here very soon that says you cannot wholesale real estate unless you meet some certain criteria. And quite frankly, guys, I don't know, how many of you are familiar with my background. I got originally introduced to real estate a long time ago, and even back then, there were a lot of agents that, were regular, residential real estate agents, great people, but they didn't look at wholesalers in the best light. They felt it wasn't fair that the wholesalers were doing that. Now, listen, whether it actually is fair or not against real estate agents, I don't know. I don't have a dog in this fight, to be quite frankly with you guys. It doesn't really bother me, but they were already talking about it back then, and now years and years and years later, that's gotten more and more and more, and quite frankly, the competitiveness of wholesaling, and I'm gonna show you a graph here that's really gonna freak some of you guys out, has gone up so exponentially that now it's become a big issue, and states are literally saying, look, you can't wholesale. We're gonna just ban it here. This is not allowed, okay? So that's reason number 1, is they're literally making laws that are gonna prevent you from doing business. And eventually, I could definitely see that rolling out to the vast majority of states around the country. And quite frankly, guys, it's already so competitive that the less and less states allow it, the more and more competitive the other states are going to be. And reason number 2 is jumping right on that same note, which is, quite frankly, guys, wholesaling is way too freaking competitive, okay? I'm gonna show you a graph here. It'll pop up on screen right here. This is Google Trends. So Google Trends is search data over years. And you can see right here, keyword real estate wholesaling and the keyword wholesaling are both pretty flat, growing slowly. And then over the last 2 years, you see it explodes right there towards the end. And that's because wholesaling, again, has become more and more and more and more popular. To share kind of a story with you guys, in one of my programs, and I'm not going to share exactly who it is, obviously, but there's a head coach from a huge real estate guru, okay? And all they teach over there is wholesaling and fix and flipping and all that stuff. And this coach, he was one of their main wholesaling coaches. And he called me and he said, look, Spencer, I don't even enjoy wholesaling anymore. It is so over competitive that I don't even want to do this anymore. It's awful. And this is from someone that's made millions of dollars wholesaling. He's been in the game for 20, 30 years. Now take someone that's brand new, just starting out, or barely been in wholesaling for a couple years, and you multiply that by a lot, right? So wholesaling is just way too competitive, and again, it's just getting a little bit out of hand. And then the last reason why wholesaling is quite frankly kind of dead is because, in all honesty, it's just kind of a crappy business model. There is this entrepreneur and businessman that I've studied a lot. His name is John Rockefeller. Now, you've probably heard the name Rockefeller before, and you may think he's a horrible person, you may think he's a great person, you may not even know who it is, but you've heard the word Rockefeller. So what John Rockefeller was famous for was monopolizing the oil industry. And one of his main tactics to do that when he first started was he went through his business and he optimized everything to such a perfect level that he could manufacture his product for 50% less than what everyone else in the market could. And then he would go to them and say, hey, he would literally show them his accounting books. He'd say, look at how profitable, much more profitable my business is than yours. I am going to drop my price 50% and you're going to lose a bunch of money and go out of business, or I'm going to buy you out. You have 2 options. What do you choose? That's what he would do. That is essentially what you're doing when you're wholesaling. You're waiting until someone is so squared away in a corner that their only option is to either get foreclosed on or take a 50% pay cut on their house. That to me is not the most ethical way to do business. It's not the greatest way to do business. And listen, I've done wholesale deals. I started in wholesaling. I get it. It's a good way to make money. But at the same time, again, as far as ethical business practices, waiting until someone is trapped in a corner is what John Rockefeller did to become one of the most, disliked business people of all time, whether or not he deserves it. And with wholesaling, you're essentially doing the exact same thing. So you might be thinking at this point, well, like, Spencer, that's great. I get it. Okay, wholesaling is bad. It's not going to work anymore. It's not going to work forever. What can I do instead? Well, if you don't know, if you haven't heard about it yet, there's something called surplus funds. And surplus funds is basically where you help people retrieve money that they are owed, whether it be from the government, from local courthouses, from a foreclosure. It's a bunch of different ways. We've been teaching surplus funds over here for about 2.5, 3 years now. Myself and my partner, we've been involved in a ton of surplus deals. We've had some students go and get to 100, 150K a month. It is a massive industry that most people don't realize because there's actually close to $100 billion in leads out there for, different types of surplus funds. So if you're interested in learning that, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, because quite frankly, it is the new wave. It's the new thing to really be on as far as in real estate. And if you're not actively adding surplus funds to your business, you are behind the curve by, at this point, a pretty big margin. So if you have the first time you've heard about this or you haven't taken it seriously, now's the time to jump into shape here and really get this going, because as wholesaling starts to phase out more and more states make it illegal, well, guess what? It's going to be more opportunity for us to come in and recover people's surplus funds. So with that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below. Give me your feedback. Do you think wholesaling is dead as well? Do you think it's still alive and well? I mean, there's definitely people out there making money, but the trajectory of the industry does not look very good. We'll leave it that way. But let me know down below. Drop a like on this video, and of course, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video.